Whose legs are those?
Never seen him before.
I think she's a new temp.
I think you mean temptress.
Hey guys, welcome back to Spooky Tuesday, a weekly podcast where we're breaking down all of our favorite slashers, thrillers, monster movies, and black comedies on the new scariest day of the week. I'm Sydney Thompson.
I'm Monica Hyde.
And I'm Chelsea Duff, and this is the second week of Obsession Month. This month, we're all about being all about something. Like, you know, it's the month to really dial in. And you know, we did Misery last week. We've got some good stuff coming up, but we couldn't let Obsession Month pass us by without doing the movie that was basically named for it. 2009's Obsessed. It's just got to be part of the lineup. You can't skip it, I don't think. I mean, I think you'd get arrested if you tried. But
yeah, right to jail.
Right to jail. It is an incredible film. It is an award-winning film. It is a star-studded film. If you don't know what it's about, you might be able to glean some things from the title, but I'll give you the logline on IMDb. It reads, a successful executive's seemingly perfect career and marriage starts falling apart when his firm hires a seductive office temp.
A temptress, if one might say.
Is she a temp? Is she a temptress? That's a great joke that Jerry O'Connell makes in here, because he's here. He's here for 5 seconds. But you know who else is here? Idris Elba, Beyonce, Ali Larter. It's a lineup.
This movie is actually stacked.
It really is stacked. It has the best cast that you could possibly imagine, and it still is the movie that it is.
But here's the thing. I will say Ali Larter gives a performance of a lifetime in this.
Yes, it makes up for a lot of the ills of the film because she is so sexy and she is so scary in this.
Her in that red dress, I couldn't breathe for like 5 minutes.
Custom dress, by the way, custom dress.
Oh my God, the red dress. Well, of course, it had to have been custom the way that it hugged her form. Excuse me.
I am better than no man.
Yeah. Also, okay, starting things off, Idris Elba. One, this is a man who is incredibly sexy. Yes. He is hotter now than he was in 2009. I have to say that. Yes. He's gotten
the gray hair really looks great on him now.
He looks beautiful, and the beard. More rugged. I don't love his whole style in this, the corporate dad kind of thing going on.
But that's not as 2009 hot. Too. Business cash at the club.
Business cash. Here's my thing though. What is it with Idris Elba being in movies exactly like this? This is so prom night. Like
it is very prom night.
He was like, I am the king of PG-13 horror. Like
that was his era at that time. Yeah, I mean, did prom night come out like 2008? He just was like in that little bubble of PG-13 horror at the time, I think.
I know, he really was a scream king in his own right at that time with real mediocre movies. But yeah, I mean, I haven't seen enough Beyonce horror movies, and I want to start this out by I'm dedicating this episode to my close personal friend Kelsey, who is my bestie, who is fucking obsessed with Beyonce, and she's gonna actually listen to the podcast because we're doing a Beyonce movie. So when I later criticize Beyonce's performance, please still like me afterwards, Kelsey. Love you, girl.
Here's the thing about Beyonce's performance in this movie. It's not that it is that bad. It's just that Beyonce is not had not honed her skills as an actress that much. Like she done Austin Powers, remember,
which is her greatest film role to date.
Yeah, she's fantastic in that movie, but the tone is like very suited for her. She hadn't done that much acting in the early mid 2000s. You know, she was trying to build her acting
What are you
career.
talking about? What are you talking about? Dreamgirls came out in 2006.
I always forget about Dreamgirls being a genuinely good movie because I always just think about all of the bad Beyonce movies, and then I go, Beyonce did
Dreamgirls?
not like being bad in movies, and that's why she stopped doing movies.
Jeez.
Dreamgirls was fucking everything to me when
That's
it came
true.
out. So sorry I was just so testy, but that soundtrack.
I know
is
I was so surprised by
everything.
the passion right there for a minute.
I was like, shut the fuck up. Don't forget about Dreamgirls. I'm so sorry.
I
Anyway,
do
what
forget
were
about
you saying?
Dreamgirls. Well, also it's hard to look at her IMDb because it's so clouded with her own music videos that it's hard to be like, okay, where are the actual acting projects on here?
She was also here. I've pieced it together. In 2006, she was also in The Pink Panther, starring along with
Pink
my best friend Steve Martin.
Awesome member, Awesome Powers Gold member. It's a real lineup. Yeah,
She wrote
Dreamgirls
an
is kind of the
incredible song
outlier.
for Pink Panther too. Check on
I
it.
believe it.
Ooh,
Well,
baby, looking what you like, what you see.
She
Ooh,
wrote that
come
for
over,
Pink
check up
Panther?
on it.
Or
That
was it just in Pink Panther?
Was
it
was
like
that the
hit-
was that the credit song for
Yeah.
Pink Panther? Fuck
yeah, no, like they made it for this movie.
Wait, but
Okay,
also,
incredible.
is it too early to talk about Beyonce's credit song for this movie? 'Cause
I
it was
did
fucking
look
so
up to see if
bad.
it was
Start
an
of the
original
end.
for this film. It's not. It's from one of the albums, but
Oh, that one is okay. I
Mhm.
don't like it
That's
either
from
way.
I
It
Am
was so
Sasha Fierce.
it's so cheesy. Everything about this movie is so fucking cheesy. Let me say that I had the best time. Let me be clear, I had an incredible time.
Since the day after this comes out is Valentine's Day, I do think that this maybe is the most perfect Valentine's Day movie to ever exist.
It really is. And on top of that, it is a Christmas movie. So just perfect. You should start watching this on Christmas along with what's the Bruce Willis one?
Die Hard.
Die Hard. She also played Etta James in Cadillac Records in 2008.
Mhm.
Chelsea, I'm so sorry. I have to prove
I
you wrong. This
know.
is
What's
deep
going
into her
on?
acting career. This is so deep. This is
I guess
so
I haven't
deep.
seen. Well, this was like her last movie other than like Lion King and stuff like that. Like this movie was so poorly received that she said,
It
I'm not
ended her
doing this
career.
again. Yeah, she's a perfectionist. She likes to be good at things. She doesn't
She is
like
a
to be bad at
Virgo.
things.
Well, yeah, I mean, didn't she get like a Oscar nom or something, at least for
For
that song
Dreamgirls,
for
maybe?
Dreamgirls? Yeah. So she was doing okay.
Beyonce,
She's never
Oscar.
like she is a performer. She is one of the most beautiful voices in the entire world. That's why she's like the most famous person in the entire world. But like she's not like on the same level as other actors. I'll say that. How about that?
That's because
fine.
she's a musician first.
I was fucking scandalized. Yeah, exactly what I was just saying. I was fucking scandalized in during the cycle for Dreamgirls because Beyonce was Beyonce. She got nommed for Best Supporting Actor or something, or her song got nominated for like the Song of the Year or whatever, and it stole it from. I can't find Dreamgirls on IMDb. Who is it? Who is the
Jennifer
other girl?
Hudson.
Jennifer Hudson, and that pissed me off so much. I love Beyonce, but Jennifer Hudson's performance in Dreamgirls is second to none. And she came
That's why I
in.
forget Beyonce's there because I'm like, that's Jennifer Hudson's movie.
Well, Beyonce also has this really beautiful song in it, and she added it into the movie because Jennifer Hudson's performance for that one song. I wish I could tell you the names. It has been 10 years since I've seen Dreamgirls, though, so I'm doing my best. I remember it better than Misery, probably. But she added in her song like later on in the movie because she was like, my character needs to have a moment. Go ahead, girl. Do what you need to do. And then it got like nommed for stuff over Jennifer Hudson's song. Not fair. Jennifer Hudson deserves the world. She's so talented. Beyonce
There's,
also
like,
deserves the world.
34 different musical numbers in Dreamgirls, and so
If
can't list them all for you. But.
No, it's okay. I'll look it up and then in 3
And I am
minutes,
telling
I
you
will
I'm not
tell you the
going.
answer.
Jennifer
Wow.
Yeah,
Hudson won Best Supporting Actress. She won an Oscar for Dreamgirls.
Oh, thank God. Good. Because
And that was her acting debut too.
Oh, is it
Yeah.
One Night Only or Listen? Those are the
listen,
two. ones that are linked on the
Listen. Yeah.
Wikipedia page.
I am alone at a crossroads. Wow.
Roads.
Anyway, I could go on, but I won't. Anyway, Beyonce.
Actually, we're doing Dream Girls,
Actually,
and
this is
because
a
Monica's
Beyonce
obsessed.
episode, and we're just gonna go through her whole oeuvre.
Did you know that John Krasinski was in Dreamgirls? And that's all I have to say about Dreamgirls. No, but okay. Now that we've established that this was actually late acting career Beyonce.
The end of her acting career. Sorry, she did have critical acclaim, I guess, before this. I was wrong.
She had critical acclaim, and then this
Something
movie
happened.
came out.
Yeah, she
And
lost all
momentum.
regard for
Yeah.
her acting career, unfortunately.
one of my biggest issues is that this had a very similar core issue to a movie that Sydney and I watched on New Year's Day. And that is Twilight Eclipse. And the issue is the wigs. And it's not the wigs, it's the wig, and it's Beyonce's wig. It was so
Bad
distracting to me.
wigs are so distracting.
Her part,
Yeah.
I was like, what is it about her hair that is so weird? It's like an unflattering part on her head. I don't understand. And then I found out that's a wig. So
Have y'all ever seen the After movies? The Harry
No.
Styles
I've seen
fanfic
at
movies?
least 2.
So
I would
Lucy-
love
first
to watch
two.
those.
Lucy made me watch all 5, honestly, and the wigs just keep getting worse and worse and worse. And it's like the only thing we
I
can talk
just don't
about was
understand.
Tessa's
Like,
wigs.
did you sell the wig from the first one? How is it getting worse? That's what I don't get. Like, what did you
getting
do with the one from before?
Wigs deteriorate over time. There are 8 movies. I don't know. I don't know. What if it's just the same musty old wig? And that's why it gets worse and worse. It's just
They're not
giving up.
maintaining it.
They're
not
not
so you can have
maintaining the
nice
wig.
things.
It's important to keep up on your wig care. Yeah, the wig is something very special. And also just like I've seen Beyonce give a nuanced performance in the past, and that is not what is happening here necessarily. But I would like to say that worse than anyone's performance is probably the writing.
Oh,
I
the writing
feel like
is bad.
Idris Elba, everything he says, I'm like, are you a real man? Like, are you? No, this is a movie, but it's very clear that this is not. But it was so weird.
If it came out now, everybody would be like, "This movie was written by AI." Like ChatGPT wrote this movie.
it gives GPT a little bit. I feel that for sure.
Like the
I don't
robots
know.
are
Could
taking over.
ChatGPT write the line, Patrick, you silly old queen, and get away with it? Because
Oh my god.
AI script writing cancel.
I swear to fucking God. I texted you guys this earlier today, but when I was watching this, I was like, this movie set back gay rights by 50 years.
This
or
movie
did
did
it
say
push them
actually.
forward? Have you considered?
Well, you make a fair point. Patrick, you old queen. He is everything. I mean, he is everything. And do I love anything more than I love Lisa's relationship with him? No, there's nothing else.
Their
That's
relationship
everything
is
to me.
so special.
It is.
just-
When she's gone, he's like, that was my bestie. Where's
I know.
bestie?
Like
Seriously.
The real obsession is Patrick being obsessed with Lisa. Being like, Lisa girl, I'm not supposed to talk to you, but what's the tea?
Lisa girl, let me tell you everything that's been happening because you haven't been here for, did he say it's been 6 months?
Yeah, Lisa, it's been 6 months.
Yeah. I don't know. Okay, well, maybe we should start at the beginning real quick because we're getting
Okay.
into the weeds. I do think that the setup for the romance in this, not romance, I don't know, whatever you want to fucking call it.
The obsession.
The obsession is well done. I think one of the main things that sticks out to me in this movie is the soundtrack. They were really doing something. I hated it. Except they played my favorite song, which is American Boy by Estelle featuring
Oh, I
Kanye.
do love that one.
And I mean, the movie is mostly about like what is on Idris Elba's playlist. Like that's what the movie is about.
He's
He's just
listening to Crudo,
bopping.
okay?
Is that a fake band? Is it a real band? It's probably a real band. I was like, what
Genuinely
the fuck is?
didn't question it.
I've literally never heard Crudo. When I look up Crudo, it's the fish dish.
Oh, I love
Yeah.
Crudo.
Italian
fish dish.
Crudo. The
Oh, it
fish
is a
dish.
band.
It's raw fish. Okay.
It's a band
thought
and
it's
raw
real.
fish, just like how Spooky Tuesday is an Australian band and a podcast.
They debuted playing a secret warm-up show in San Francisco on May 22nd, 2008. They were new. They were hot on the scene.
Oh wow. Okay, so who in Crudo is the first industry plant? Is
Right.
what
Yeah.
I'm learning here.
Oh, well, it's got Dan the Automator. That's the guy that they say he's king. And that made it onto the Wikipedia page for Crudo, by the way. But he is a producer. He produced like Gorillas and stuff like that. So he is possibly well known.
Oh, okay.
He's one half of Got
Well-
a Girl, along with actress Mary Elizabeth Winstead. Mary Elizabeth Winstead, what are you
What?
doing here?
Oh my god! It all
That's
comes
my-
back to Mary Elizabeth Winstead.
That's the podcast girlfriend. Adam is the podcast boyfriend, but Mary Elizabeth Winstead is the podcast girlfriend. In case we haven't made that clear.
We love
Oh my
her.
god. We probably should do her Black Christmas, even though it's an atrocity. Because she's our girlfriend. And we need to talk about her. Oh
I
my
think
god.
that's a
Okay,
reasonable, yeah.
I don't know. Every little tiny detail about this movie drives me fucking crazy. Like, did you guys see that Magic Johnson's one of the exec producers? I don't know.
Yes.
I thought that was fucking hilarious. I thought that was so funny for some reason.
He's like,
I-
it sounds like an interesting movie. I'm in.
I'm very interested.
I would like to put money in this.
topic.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, from the very get-go, like they do a good job of like setting up this like office like flirtation, definitely. I mean, like Idris Elba definitely gets shafted in this movie for sure. But there is definitely a legitimate flirtation going on in the workplace. Not crazy, I would say. Not crazy, but there's a vibe. So Ali Larter, Lisa, you know, she's not coming from absolutely nowhere, but pretty much.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well,
I
pretty
mean,
much.
he keeps being like, I didn't say anything to lead her on. I didn't do anything. And it's like, you were for sure
You
flirting.
absolutely
And
did.
like, maybe that is a way that I would talk to my friends and not think anything about it. But considering the state of the relationship and the background that they gave us in the beginning, they made clear that his behavior was inappropriate. Because whether or not you think that Beyonce's character's requests were reasonable, she was like, no female assistants,
Reasonable.
don't want her on your desk,
Reasonable.
don't talk to her, send her
Reasonable.
packing, fire her immediately. She called me
Reasonable.
Shannon. Oh yeah, her name is Sharon. Yeah,
Why
I mean,
is her
from
name
the beginning,
Sharon?
it's
I know.
not the right choice, but it
It
is
was
what we've
horrible.
got.
That really
Um,
took me out of the movie. I'm
Derek
so
and Sharon.
Sharon.
Yeah, it's not right for either of them. It's not right,
no.
but it's what we've got. But I mean, yeah, they're like, oh, that she was Beyonce's character Sharon. That was his last pretty assistant. That was the last eye candy in the office, and he married her. So we know he has a history
Yeah.
of workplace romances and flirtations, and I don't know. They kind of set it up like he'd had some sort of dalliance in the past, and I think they could have leaned into that more. But
Well, yeah, I mean, let's just say, like, I'm so glad I was not working in a corporate office in 2009. Jesus fucking Christ. It's so different. And I mean, Sydney and I have both worked in the radio industry and the music industry, so shit's still fucked there for sure. But it wasn't quite like this, you know what I mean? Not quite. Like that, who's that fucking guy? Jerry O'Connell's character, Ben. Fuck that guy.
yeah, but I think there's some deeper layers to Ben maybe that we can uncover later. So
Oh, he's obsessed with Derek. He does want to suck his dick.
Oh,
and
yeah.
he
Preview,
kissed
how can
Patrick
it be
on the
gay?
cheek, and so I was like, okay, He's
He's
got some stuff
unhappy
he's not
in
ready
his-
to address yet.
He's unhappy in his marriage. He's just sitting on the
Is he
bench
married?
right now. Yeah, he's
Yeah.
married. He's married.
Yeah, they both
He's
are.
married, and he said, "I'm not
Hmm.
out of the game. I'm just sitting on the bench waiting to get back in." Quote.
Classic
That's actually a
He's got his
direct
eyes on
quote.
Patrick. He's
Mhm.
literally
He's unhappy in his marriage, not because he's a lady killer. It's because he's gay and he's in the closet.
he's on the bench right now. It's
Listen,
been a
we
long time
all-
since college.
We all want Idris Elba, so I get it.
Very fair.
I
Yeah,
understand.
understandable.
I do understand. He's like, forget your wife and come run away with me to the Lakers game, to Staples Center.
To the crypto.com center.
We do not recognize crypto.com arena in this
Yeah.
household. I'm a Staples Center purist.
They laid the groundwork for what kind of workplace this is for sure, because they're like, no spouses at the Christmas party, so we can really let loose and like, oh, look at that pair of legs around the office, and like, oh, I miss having eye candy around here, and like Sally at the Christmas party last year was giving everyone lap dances, so they're really.
Did you see that? And she just pulls her
and
shirt
she's
down
like,
and shows her bra.
Yeah.
I do think it's
Um,
real sus that spouses aren't allowed at the company Christmas thing. Like,
What are you guys
that's
doing at the
so
company
sus. What are you
Christmas
doing at
party?
the company
Lap
Christmas party?
dances, I
having
guess, but
Illicit affairs.
But it's like,
seems.
okay, like we're gonna be debaucherous without our spouses there, but like we're gonna do it in front of our bosses? Like what?
Well, his boss is the down bitch, okay? Later
Fair.
on in the movie, he's like, yeah, all signs point to you having an affair with that girl, but I believe you, of course. I'm on your side for life. So he's a homie, Sydney, don't worry. He's
Ah.
cool with the guys, actually. Um, but how about this? Lisa is a genius, actually. She's such a quick study. She's so smart. She poisoned 2 people, I assume. So
Yeah.
she could stay there to get her man. She's got the entrepreneurial spirit that we're looking for at this company. And I
She
would
has
like to
the
offer her
hustle.
a job.
yeah. She's like, you just called me into your office for the first time, but don't worry. I have already stalked you enough to know what the #1 task is, and I've already completed it. And that was sending flowers to your wife. And by the way, I am storing in my brain your flower account for later.
Uh-huh. But
Mhm.
also, I want a man to send me flowers
Every week, every Monday.
week. Every Monday, I want flowers.
So that is really sweet. I like that a lot. But
Somebody
also,
needs
it
to be
would
that
be,
obsessed with me, you know?
I feel like we all just need to have assistants, I guess, so who can
And
do all
lots
the
of
nice
money.
things for
Yeah.
us.
Yeah.
Because that works out really nice for him. He gets all the brownie points, and it's Patrick
And Patrick's
putting
doing
in the work. It's Patrick
Mhm.
being the lover boy.
Yeah, but he's paying for it, so it's fine.
Let's not be too friendly to him. He is flirting in the workplace, and
That's
he's
fine,
being
though.
like, I think it's a little bit fine, but because Sharon is so not chill about it at all, I think maybe don't. And then they have that whole exchange early on too, where she's like, I want to talk about my classes, and he's like, what classes, girl?
Oh,
I
he's
thought maybe
for
you would
sure.
just decide you liked being a mom better instead.
I
She's
think
like,
that, like I said,
no.
he does get totally shafted in this movie. I do think he didn't do too much of
Yeah.
too many bad things when he was at work to warrant what happens later on. But he is a horrible husband for sure, because he's so like, I don't know, ancient ways about
It's
it. Like,
kind
that
of
conversation made me
misery-ish.
crazy.
Yeah, it's
Say
kind of
more.
misery-ish in the sense that it's like, you don't deserve what happened to you. It's not your fault what happened to you. But am I rooting for you as a character? Not really. Because you
No.
called your wife crazy a couple of times along this path. And I just don't like the way you're going about that.
Yeah. I mean, unfortunately, they make it hard for you to root for even Beyonce and Idris Elba because their writing of their characters is so weird. They're not super
Yeah.
likable. It's
Well,
just
but
like they're.
here's-
little
I'm just like,
flat.
oh,
It's like we
I
gave
like
you the romance
Kyle.
montage in the beginning where they were domestic. Was that not enough for you to invest in their characters?
Here's the thing, their roles were like absolutely written as white people because it's Derek, Sharon,
Sharon.
Kyle, the child named Kyle.
It was, well, I think it was originally written, IMDb trivia said, as like an interracial romance, but then there was a movie called like Lakeview Terrace, I think, with Samuel L. Jackson that came out a year before, and that had like an interracial romance element to it.
God forbid.
Like,
where
oh, we
more
can't have
movies.
two interracial
it's too similar.
romances
Well,
in
I
2
think,
years.
I have not seen that movie, but I looked at the IMDb logline for that, and it sounded like Samuel L. Jackson was like an obsessed police officer who like wanted to destroy this couple who moved into the neighborhood or something like that. So I can see that there would be thematic overlap beyond
Oh,
just
okay.
interracial couple.
Fair,
But
fair.
yeah, I mean, it's interesting. There could be so much to say about the race elements of this movie, but the movie doesn't say any of them. And according to IMDb trivia, at least, Idris Elba is like, good, and I'm glad, because I didn't want that to be part of the movie. I just wanted to do a little movie. So
Yeah, this movie did not have enough like brain power behind it to tackle anything like
they're
that.
like,
Thank
we're
God
not
they
trying
didn't
to do
try. It
societal
would have been
commentary.
it would have been fucking offensive. It would have been fucking horrifically offensive if they had tried. They could barely even make this like a movie. Like all of the fucking like Chekhov's gun or like foreshadowing things are so fucking overt in this movie. They're like, hello, later on, do you see this piece of wood in the attic? Someone will be falling through this
Right?
later
This
on.
wood is unsafe.
It's minute 2 of the movie, and just so you know, that's how the movie's gonna end. Balloons. Just surprise. That's how the movie's gonna end. And so I mean, I was excited because
You're waiting for
I was
it.
like, that's
You're
gonna
waiting.
be fun.
Yeah.
That's gonna be fun later on when likely Lisa falls through the ceiling. But yeah, oh man, it's we don't like anyone. You don't like anyone except I do
I
like
like
Lisa.
Patrick.
I like Patrick.
I like
know,
the Patrick
Patrick-
Lisa friendship. They're over here
I-
gossiping over their Bluetooths.
Oh my God. I love that Patrick is like, well, I'm going to get the name wrong. So, oh no, it's right here. Marge shouldn't have stolen my lip gloss if she didn't want to get sick. Like, oh my God. Like, Derek literally is like, okay, girls, have a good time. Like, shut, Derek.
Yeah. Well,
Don't,
but
you
also,
don't get to say that. You're not
all right,
part of the
girls,
group.
behave yourself out here. And then Patrick is like, if you think you can take me out for Cosmos and pump me for information, you're so right.
So right.
And then
Which
they
honestly
give each
is
other a
so
look where they're like,
relatable.
you're so bad. I was like, that is slay. I'm sorry.
So relatable.
We all dream of this. We all dream of this.
This is my ideal relationship, actually.
Where's I need an old queen right away. Oh my God. It's so fucking funny. Also, okay. I am also impressed by the level of Delulu that Lisa reaches in 5 business days.
Right?
5.5 business days.
It's
There
so
are
impressive.
there is the weekend, but the holiday party is she gets put on his desk on Monday. The holiday party is Friday. It's 5 business days. And she swings it all around, causes a whole havoc.
She did a lot of thinking that weekend. Okay. She said, I met
did
him
a
on
lot of
Friday.
research.
I thought about him for every second until I was back there on Monday, after which I had poisoned my new best friend, Patrick. Don't worry, he'll be fine. I
poisoned
just
him
need a
that
couple of
bad.
days to cement myself. This man's surely going to fall in love with me. All I need to do is cry a little, and then he will say to me, if I were single, I would totally be interested in you. And I will hear, he wants me to get rid of his wife, obviously.
I will hear,
that's
I'm
what he's
leaving my
asking
wife
for.
for you. We are in
Yeah.
love.
Yeah.
I want to
she
be
just-
with you. It's just that I have a wife.
Yeah, she's just remixing everything that he says in her mind She's just a beautiful Delulu DJ up in there, and she's having a great time.
And I saw some of the loopholes coming as he was saying them. You know what I mean? Like, again,
Yeah.
I
Like,
know
oh,
what
this is
movie
gonna
I'm
bite you.
watching. I'd seen it before, but like post-Christmas party sexual assault, they
Yeah.
have that moment
That-
in the park. Yeah. Crazy. But the moment in the
We'll
parking
get it.
lot
Keep
when
going.
she's
Yeah.
in the car and then he's like, I would never risk my job. I was like, King, you did not mention your marriage. You did not mention that you would not risk your marriage. You just said your job, and that's all she heard.
Right.
Yeah. Oh my God. Okay. Well, rewind real quick to the Christmas party, because that whole thing, like, this is where I start to feel bad for the guy, because yes, like they did have that dinner together. He didn't plan that though. She looked up where he usually has fucking dinner, or she asked Patrick and she showed up there. She fucking plied him with alcohol, like making him have martinis. You know how fucked up you get on martinis? Really fucking fucked up, okay?
I don't like
It's
martinis. 'cause
all-
I
And she
hate
was like,
vermouth.
make it filthy.
Oh, well, you should just get one that's washed in vermouth, and they don't put a bunch of vermouth in it, and then it's just vodka in a cup and
I don't
some
like-
brine.
I don't like olives, and I don't like straight alcohol. Martinis are literally my enemy.
Okay, well, you should get a lemon drop then or something, and it
I
still comes
like
in the
those.
glass. That's
like
fine.
those,
And I
and
will have
I'm a
my
little
gin
basic.
martini with
I'm
a
a
twist.
basic bitch. I will do espresso martinis until the day that I die.
I've got a great recipe for those that you keep in your freezer, so talk to me later.
Ooh.
But yeah, like she's fucking like so terrifying in this, because you know, like you said, we know what movie this is. He's
Yeah, we know
getting-
what we're getting into.
Yeah, and
I've
she
seen the
knows
trailer, yeah.
everything to do, to like everything to say to like challenge his manhood, literally, to like get him even more drunk, like the tequila thing. She's like, "Oh, you
Coward.
scared?" And like he didn't
Mhm.
initiate dancing with her. Like he was dancing with
snuck her way in.
Marge.
Yeah.
And then
I was kind of like, he's being a little weird about how flirty Ali Larter is, considering that Sally gave them all lap dances last year. But he could tell that there was interest coming his way. He could tell that
yeah.
she was AIMing him and burning him mix CDs. Like the mix CD was really the first red flag that we're crossing into romance territory.
Sally would
Mhm.
never. She is pure business. She's like, I'm just doing lap
I'm
dances.
doing my lap dance
stuffing
and then I'm
out.
going back to my desk on Monday.
You can have
I'll see
a
you next
friendly
Christmas
lap
party.
dance. I've received many friendly lap dances in my day, and it's been lovely. But like, you know, she's just a fun time friend, whatever that girl's name is. But Lisa here is like underneath the fucking mistletoe, being like playing the, oh my God, the things that she says too. She's like, it'll be more weird if you don't kiss my cheek, because then people will be like, why didn't he kiss her cheek?
Why
Because
didn't he
we're
get
in the
kissy
office.
cheek?
Because
And
he's
we don't,
married.
and we aren't in Europe where they do that as a greeting. This is America, and it's not as common. And I don't like that about America, but that is the society we live in today. But like, oh my God, the scene in the bathroom, fucking, that was actually scary. Like, there are a couple points in this movie where I was actually like deeply unsettled and uncomfortable. And both of the times were, one was the sexual assault, the other time was the rape.
right?
Yeah.
Both
Yeah.
times were sexual
Oh,
assault. Oh no.
Sorry, I gotta turn those off, but I don't want to. It's always so funny.
Yeah, I mean, the sexual assault is rough in this movie and really does lend a lot of credence to the discussion around like men's sexual assaults are not taken seriously, because
Yeah.
nobody takes it seriously at any point in this movie, and nobody even like calls it that really. So
No, he's like,
messed up.
and that's another thing. That's part of the reason why. And this is like, yeah, I don't want to be on the like forgive Derek, blah 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 train, but also like just playing into the whole like man box masculinity thing. Like he is sexually assaulted by a woman. It's a total loss of control. Then he has to like get the fuck out of there. Like there's nothing he could do in that moment to leave faster. Otherwise, one of his colleagues is going to see, then it's going to turn into a whole huger thing. So that's really, really hard. And then, yeah, he doesn't tell Beyonce. I can't call her Sharon. I won't. He
Beyonce.
doesn't tell Beyonce because, like, oh, that's like detracting from his masculinity to be like, a woman cornered me and attacked me and made me really uncomfortable. He doesn't want to do that, even though like he should. He
Yeah,
definitely
there's a
should, but I
shame
get
element for
why he
a
didn't.
lot of people. Yeah.
Totally. So it's like such a shitty circumstance. And then I mean, like,
And
the
then it's like he
way it
calls Beyonce crazy later, but it's like, he just went through a trauma. So like, if his emotional regulation is not right and he's using some not nice words, like I think we can cut him a
Okay.
break a little bit. Yeah.
yeah.
Give him some slack.
Also, I will say, even though it was horrible, but it was slay when Lisa was in a trench coat and then she just had sexy lingerie underneath. It was hot. It was very hot. And
That's
but
why
it
she
was
had to
wrong.
duck out to her car
But it was
early. She
wrong.
had to get that change of uniform.
That's one of my dreams one day, is to show up at somebody I'm seeing's house with like the lingerie and just like a trench coat or like a fur coat and be like, hello.
I'm getting inspiration for Valentine's Day. I have a
Mhm.
pink trench coat. Anything could happen. No, just kidding.
Who knows?
No one knows. Anyway, moving on. But I don't know. I just that part too, like I get why he didn't say anything right then. When he came back, he was gonna tell Beyonce what happened, but then she's very upset because
Her sister just got
Of her
cheated on.
Tim. Oh my
and it
God,
was a
Tim had a
workplace
workplace
thing.
relation. Yeah, for a year and a half.
So she's primed to be extra fucking pissed about that sort of a thing. If she says this woman's coming on to me at work, then she's already in the mindset where she's like, Tim should be killed. You know what I mean? So I get it.
Yeah. Yeah, there's also the issue in this movie of consistently when he's like, okay, I'm gonna take action, I'm gonna do something, I'm gonna create a paper trail, I'm gonna get this on the record. Everybody keeps being like, you could do that, I guess, but it's probably irrelevant now, so you don't really have to. Like the
Good
HR
point.
guy is like, she quit, so don't worry about it.
Well, I
The
mean,
police
it's so
officer is
weird
like,
because
she moved.
he's
It's
really being
fine.
it's not the same as the way a woman would be treated in this situation, obviously, but he's still being like sidetracked in the same
Yeah.
in similar
Yeah.
ways. Like when Ben's like, oh, well, you have like a history of hooking up with your coworkers, so people might not believe you and it might turn into this thing. Like, you
Yeah.
know, this is how it was a little bit hard to watch in that regard. Like, I was like, oh God. Poor Idris, he understands the plight of a woman. No, he still doesn't understand the plight of the woman, but he started to experience it a little bit.
The
I,
plight of the
I,
survivor he gets for sure.
yeah. Oh my God. But everything that happens at the work retreat is like so fucked up. Lisa is she's so hot and that dress is great, but she should not be a rapist, I would say. I have a hot take. I think that she shouldn't be a rapist. What do you
Nobody
guys
should
think
be a
about that?
rapist.
Mm-hmm.
He does wake up with all of his clothes on. So I don't like the character Lisa says we had sex, but is she even a believable source? You know what I mean? Or is this something, I don't know. I mean, we see a lot of
Either way, it was an
yeah,
assault.
it's terrible regardless. But I don't know.
I
I
thought
found
that was
scene
gonna come back and be more of a thing. Like, I'm glad because it's like even more fucking traumatizing. But I thought she was gonna have like taken like
in the
damning
hospital.
images.
Or
Yeah.
like
Or like they were
videos or
gonna
something.
Yeah, of images of them together. I thought that there was gonna be like some sort of
Blackmail
test,
or
like they did like a rape kit on her,
Yeah, that's
because
what I
she's
thought
in
was
the
gonna happen in the
hospital,
hospital.
and there would be like
Um,
DNA evidence, and then he'd be fucked up. Like I thought
right.
they were gonna like try to send him to jail or something. I don't know. I thought it was gonna be something like that.
It's tricky because they don't ever really like use any words or diagnoses or acknowledgement of like mental health exactly in this movie, but it really seems like this is disordered thinking that she has rather than like a malicious plan most of the time. Some of it gets a little weird. Like when she goes inside just to hold the baby and kiss its head and put it in the backseat, it's like, what are you doing? What are you accomplishing other than like showing you have access? But then other times it's like, I believe that she really thinks this, and I like can't tell you exactly why she thinks that, but she seems genuinely distressed by the idea that that is not what happened, what she's saying.
Yeah. Yeah. She just like, I'm impressed by the level of Delulu. It's honestly, she's so earnest in some ways. She's so fucked up, but
Just
but
so
like
endearing
she's
in
like,
other ways, you know?
she's like, what do you mean? You want me to go in there and tell them that we're not together? Why would I lie to them? He's like,
Start
also
doing
like,
that. What do you mean?
also, I'm sorry, Derek, but like bringing the girl into the conference and having her talk to the whole conference is not the solution. It's not the sleigh you think it is. It's really not gonna help. I don't think, not with his like career on the line and that sort of a thing. I don't know. So like, go in there and talk to 40 men and tell them we're not fucking. Like, okay, it's not the best plan, but he's under stress. Okay, he's under
He's
stress.
under a lot
He
of
is
stress.
not thinking straight.
He was told his wife was here. He thought he was going to go outside and see Sharon. Instead,
Yeah.
it's Lisa. That's very confusing for him. He doesn't know what happened the night before. He just knows he overslept. And then she's like, sorry, I wasn't there this morning. And he's like, huh? I don't even remember you being there last night.
And she's just like, oh my God. I don't know. I'm so compelled by her performance in this. Like, thank God for Ali Larter. Everyone else goodbye.
This is literally one of her best performances because I think she read this script and like understood what this movie was and said,
Yes.
I'm gonna give the greatest, most unhinged performance of my life. She deserves an Oscar.
Done Heroes already, in which she played the two Nickies or whatever, and one was like the bad girl Nikki. Remember?
Oh my God. I gotta rewatch Heroes. Not the last couple seasons, but the beginning, that shit was fire. Oh my God. Wow. Okay. That's what I'm gonna do with my time moving forward. I just
Somebody
love
for
her.
sure saw her in Heroes and was like, "That's who we need for Lisa.
That's who we
That's
need."
exactly what we need for Lisa." I think maybe the direction also was part of the struggle of this movie potentially. It was a first-time director who signed on when he saw that Beyonce was signed on. So I'm sure he was like, "Oh my God, it's going to be amazing." I don't know if he read the script yet. I don't know if he thought there was going to be room for more changes in the script, but he like stopped directing movies after this too. Like this was also like, let's wrap it up for him. He was like, I'm going back to TV. This
He's like,
I have to
I'm
go.
over it.
My legacy is tainted.
This
I'm leaving.
stopped 2 careers in the film industry. Beyonce and Steve Schill. That's his name.
Thank God Idris Elba survived.
Oh my
He
God,
does
thank God he
have an
powered
Emmy
through.
though. So he's British. I
didn't
think
know
that like, huh?
Oh, you're talking about the director. I
The
thought you meant
director.
Idris Elba for a second.
Oh,
and I was
no,
like,
yeah,
you didn't
yeah,
know
yeah.
that Idris
No.
Elba is British?
I
was like,
do know that about him. I do know
Notorious
that about
Brit
him.
Idris Elba.
I'm well aware of that. That's the one thing
I
I
want
do
him
know.
to be James Bond so bad.
Why hasn't that happened yet?
I don't know.
Sound the fucking alarm. I
Racism,
swear.
actually.
Yeah, no, that's why. Yeah, that is why.
Racism. Everybody's wrong. Cast Idris Elba. Give the people what we want.
They've been demanding it for years.
So after all of this stuff is happening, you know that part where then she just goes and she like kills herself?
Uh-huh.
That was terrible.
Yeah.
That was like, oh my God. What's he
relate
gonna
to
fucking
that
do?
so hard. Because like, you know, at any little minor inconvenience of like, what if I kill myself, right? And she did it. And I can respect that.
She did. Oh my God. Jesus fucking Christ. That was like, I didn't see that coming. And that really was, that part happens. And then I feel like this movie fucking falls apart for 45 minutes. I feel like after that reveal, everything was just so fucking terrible in this movie. And then the end slaps. But the middle, like part 2, fucking blows so hard. But like, one thing I have to say, I I'm not glad that she did that to herself, but I am glad that it brought Detective Reese into the picture because I love that actress, Christine Lahti. I think
Yeah,
that's how you
she's great.
say it. She's in Evil, and she is so good in Evil, and everyone should watch Evil.
Everybody
By
should
the way,
watch
just
Evil.
saying.
I love
Everybody
Evil.
should watch Evil. They're not paying us. We just love Evil. But like her character is so interesting because like I don't know. I really thought this was gonna turn into a movie where they're just like putting Idris Elba in jail or something would happen. Like it would be one of those horrible things where like he didn't do what they said, and then I don't know. There could be a movie like that, but it would have to have way better writing. But Reese, that character, the detective, she can tell that there's something fucking weird going on here, even though Derek's story is the most far-fetched thing ever. But also,
it is hard to believe.
it's so hard to
Yeah.
believe, but so is Lisa's story where they've fallen madly in love in 2 fucking weeks.
Right.
Like that's also insane. But also, here's the
also,
biggest
like,
flaw.
I would be like, I fully would expect a man to be
Who
like,
wouldn't fall in love with Idris Elba in 2 weeks? Hello,
and
yeah.
also then like I would be
Who wouldn't
like,
fall in out with Ali Larter?
exactly, like, okay, great, I'm gonna blow up my entire life to be with you. Like, that's the level of commitment that I want.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I guess. But here's the thing. This is the biggest fumble of all time, maybe. The way that Idris Elba handles Beyonce showing up and then him immediately just like being like, yeah, let's sit down with the detective. I'm not going to talk to just you first to explain this. I'm going to have the detective tell the story. And it never actually, like, he never actually explains to Beyonce the whole thing. I don't think that ever happens. And I'm just like, I feel like if you had just like explained everything that happened, she would understand it at least a little bit. But they're like just yelling at each other after that, which I get why she's yelling. I understand with the information she's been presented. I would be screaming as well. But like I'm like, Derek, baby, just try to explain it to her. Maybe try to communicate with your wife for 1 second. No.
Yeah.
It was
They have
bad.
some like really weird trust issues in their relationship from like moment 1 on screen.
Yeah.
And they never really give us any reason to
Why?
understand that or sympathize with that other than he used to be a slut, but like lots of people used to be sluts and that's
So
allowed.
many people used to be a slut.
Yeah.
It's actually really okay to be a slut or have a slutty phase and then be monogamous afterwards. That's okay.
Yeah. That happens
but
all the time.
yeah,
You can
they
turn a
have
hoe into a
2-year-old.
housewife.
They haven't been married. That's the opposite of what I'm saying. I wish they had given us something. Like I wish there had been a previous affair or something. Like clearly he is a little flirtatious in the office. But I don't know. Just the fact that she was the one sending his weekly flowers to his various lovers in the past like doesn't quite cut it for me for why she is so like aggressive about it from minute 1 to the point where he's like, I'm not gonna say anything. And then Ali Larter emailed me this photo on New Year's Day, and for some reason it popped up 56
Wait.
times. And
Can we talk about that really quickly?
she's like,
That
my long
picture
statement necklace.
with the little hat, with
hat.
the little fucking fedora hat, and she made it as like a virus, so it pops up a million times. Play of the century. That was like
She's
talk
such
about
a queen.
like you look up cunty in the dictionary, and that photo's there with the jaunty fucking hat, and he's just like panically being like X X X X.
Yeah.
I've got to work on my spam block.
And
That-
like, does she still have access to the company AIM system or whatever? Or did she make her own AIM that's just temp girl so that she
Gosh.
can message him? Like,
I miss
she has
AIM.
dialed in. I
R.I.P.
miss AIM.
I miss
Yeah,
AIM
me
so
too.
much.
Discord is not
Oh
the
my
same.
God.
It's
No.
not the same.
Slack,
Oh God.
horrible. Horrifying.
this year.
Teams.
I just
Horrifying.
I just had an AIM flashback to when I was AIMing my crush. It was Spencer. And no, it wasn't. It was Brett. Oh God, it was Brett. Anyway, he didn't respond to me, and I messaged my friend, and I was like, "Oh, he hasn't responded to me yet," but I sent that to him, and then I killed myself, and I'm dead. Anyway, we could talk about the movie. Sorry, I just had to relive my trauma really quickly. I
Bobby's
loved
like, I
AIM except
just
for
had
that
a
part,
war
and then I
flashback.
deleted it. There's so many balloons today. I deleted it. We never used it again. We don't speak of AIM. But yeah, it must have been that because I don't think Teams existed back then. Did they have Slack back then in 2009? No.
No,
Was
that's all
No,
recent.
for sure, no.
Like those
Yeah.
things stemmed, I think, because they shut AIM down.
They finally wrapped AIM up and they said, we need something new.
They're like, after what happened to Monica, we gotta close this shit down.
MSN Messenger went first, and then when AIM eventually followed, because AIM was really slow to pull the plug. They waited a long time, and I wish they'd held out
never done
longer.
it.
But
Yeah,
I know.
yeah.
we still used it when I worked for the record label. That was how we all communicated. We'd be like 2 desks apart, AIMing each other the whole time. It was
You
incredible.
You gotta
gotta.
do
You
it. It's
have to
important.
be talking online with your work bestie. You have to be. It's the only
gotta
way
be
to
talking
survive the
shit.
job.
And I wish
Ugh.
it was AIM still, because then it wasn't like on the company's server, but Slack.
Yeah,
never
now it's
trust
like my
that
boss is
shit.
gonna read my messages.
It was just so
They probably
embarrassing.
won't,
See
but they
shit in here.
could. They fucking
Gotta
could.
side text my bestie outside of the work Slack.
Yeah. One of Sydney's pointers to get away with murder that she hasn't said, but I'm gonna say for her: don't talk about it with your work bestie in the Slack. They can pull that shit. and get
Yeah,
you to jail.
Never,
Never
nothing,
put about it in writing.
never in writing.
Never in
Make a
writing.
Just
phone
on your
call.
Bluetooth. You gotta stay on that Bluetooth.
Cut
Moving around
scene,
the
they
office.
knew.
You're so bad, little
You're
looks. That's what you need to be doing.
Yeah.
I will say some of the dialogue is kind of iconic in this movie, though, because
Mhm.
when he is finally spilling the beans to Sharon after they go home, and that's when he's calling her crazy a bunch of times, and they're yelling and they're shouting, and he keeps yelling, and he maybe could benefit from not doing that, but again, he's been through a lot. That whole dialogue of like, well, first I suggest you pack your toothbrush, and then I want you to get your socks, your shaving kit, your underwear, your prophylactics if you think you'll need them, and
right.
get your ass out.
Where
he's
am I
like,
supposed to
To
go?
go.
But
Hell.
until then, I suggest maybe the four
4
seasons.
seasons.
Like, it's a
Slay.
sleigh.
That
sleigh.
was so
cunty.
good. And she's putting everything into that. And I would say probably too much.
I
And
think there could be
her
too
little-
much.
her monologue is like a lot overacted, but I loved it. It was also amazing.
She said they are not giving me any internal experiences or background, so I'm just gonna go big. They're not giving me any micro expressions to work with, so I'm just gonna go big.
I'm just all macro all the time. I swear to God, though, the next 40 minutes of the movie are so fucking boring. It's just like they're separated. It's the longest montage of my entire life. And his life is bad and he's sad, but they're hanging out with Kyle. Don't worry. Kyle's getting a lot of parent time. And Lisa just goes to San Francisco. And so everything's fine. Why I would get a restraining order even if Lisa's in San Francisco.
Uh-huh.
You know how easy it
Yeah.
is to get to Los Angeles from San Francisco? It will
Right?
take
To
you
all of a
only
sudden
part
be
of a day.
Not in San Francisco.
I so understand the instinct that a lot of people have to be like, I just want this to go away. And if I can ignore it and it's not a current problem, that's what I'll do. And I get that, but it just feels like they've already gotten to the point in the movie where they had the opportunity to make the paper trail once and didn't take it and it backfired. And so like I feel like we could have learned a lesson from that by now. I get why he doesn't, but
he's wrong.
It's and I don't know. It's her sending herself flowers in the hospital afterwards, like, not that he knows about that, I guess, unless it was literally on his account and he saw the bill at some point, but why would he? That's assistant business. But I there's like things that
Yeah,
we're
real
seeing that
mans
he
never
doesn't
check their
necessarily
credit
know
card
about.
statements.
Like Detective Reeves is not telling him everything. I get it. She's not gonna go tell him that Ali Larter in the hospital said, I just hope that she doesn't do something stupid about Sharon, Beyonce's character, which, by the way, I thought that was gonna be like a bigger plot point, and it wasn't. I thought Lisa was laying groundwork there for sure, but I guess she's just like projecting her behaviors onto the people around her. She's like, I just took a lot of pills, and so I can imagine when she finds out that actually I'm the real wife and she's the side bitch, that like she's gonna do exactly the same thing I just did. So maybe that's just psychological insight into her character, but I thought it was gonna be foreshadowing.
They set up they did the very obvious foreshadowing, but all the like we thought it would be a real movie, right? So we were like, oh, like this must be setting up for something else down the line. It's so clearly like it's so clearly
It's so
like
obvious.
well, not even because when they were trying to be obvious, they were so obvious. It was like it's for any time that this would be a normal movie, this would be the setup we would expect. But no, they don't do nuance here. That was actually unrelated completely. They just needed some words for the character to say. That's it.
He had to say something, so we gave her a line.
Something. So
you wanted to
she
mean
said
something?
that.
That's asking
Why
a
would
lot.
Why would it fucking mean something? Please be
Why
serious.
would it pay off?
Oh my god. But yeah, I mean, real quick, that babysitter,
Samantha.
you call the mom. Don't let she's a child. I understand. But you should call Sharon. She had the right instincts, but don't trust this random blonde woman. Sorry, Sydney.
Listen, I wouldn't.
If I just met you, I wouldn't trust you. I'm kidding.
Probably why.
No, I mean, yeah, even if you are like, yes, Kate, whom I know and whom I know as for a fact is friends with Sharon, why would you be like, oh, you brought something for Kyle? Yeah, go put it in his room while he's sleeping. I would be like, leave it on the table down here. We're in the entryway. Leave it in the entryway. And also, it's not Kyle's birthday, by the way. So why are you swinging by with gifts for Kyle right now?
Yeah, it's so many red flags. But I loved that long scene of like the flash between the dinner that they're having, the reconciliation dinner, which also the reconciliation dinner was such a fucking joke. Like he didn't say anything.
That was his birthday.
I know, but he didn't say
He'd
anything.
been a really
I thought
good
he was
father for like 3 months, okay?
It was slay when Beyonce was like, give me the Benz.
I want
then
the
you can
Benz.
come back home.
And when they were in the scene before that where she was like, move your foot, but she's like, I'm flirting. Like, move your foot, stop.
Move it.
Oh my God, Derek, stop. Like, that was totally the tone of that scene.
No, totally. But yeah, I do think the end of the movie was really fun. Like the end was fun. That middle bit fucking sucked. But like this part where like Kyle's gone and they're looking everywhere and it was just some fucking mind game and he's in the back of the car with the kiss mark. Psychotic Lisa. Psychotic Lisa. Love it. And the fact that she was in the house still the whole time. They took him to the hospital and fucked up the shit and ripped her face out of the picture. Again, slay Lisa.
Lisa is absolutely that bitch in many ways. Is like she's got vision. She knows how to set a scene.
Drive.
She's got an incredible
spirit,
imagination.
like I was saying.
Yeah, she knows how to take charge.
She's got a vivid imagination. She lives in her own special world. Good for her.
She could put her powers to use for good, but she just
where would the fun
distracted.
be in that?
She's distracted. Yeah.
She's
but I do love
goals.
Yeah, I do love when we get to that point near the end. And of course, it's Patrick who gives away the plans by being like, oh my God, girl, I'm not supposed to tell you. Here's where they are. And here's the separate times they're going. And so here's exactly the vulnerabilities you can exploit if that's something you're going to do. Girls, you just hang up on me? Why would you do? Hello? Like, that is crazy. But I love when we get to the point where Beyonce is like, you don't know who you're dealing with. And if you think you're crazy, bitch, I'm going to be crazier, which is, I mean, I don't watch Euphoria, but I've seen that monologue.
All of her monologues are so fucking insane in this. They're so, wow. They're everything. They're really everything. She went there. And I was waiting. I was like, there's not enough Beyonce in this movie. Beyonce's gonna have to fucking kill that bitch. Like, definitely she's gonna have to commit murder. I'm waiting for the part where the ladies just go at each other. And then we got it. So thank God.
And it's so good.
And it is an incredible fight scene. It escalates so fast, really just like ratchets up. There's just like a little back and forth before it's like, I am gonna try and bludgeon you and stab you with this lamp. It is incredible. And the outfits the whole time. Ali Larter in just the jersey and undies. Beyonce in these wobbly boots where we're getting constant shots of her wobbly heels. Like,
Beyonce able to do that in heeled boots.
Like the whole tension in the attic. When she also is like strangling Beyonce over the banister, and like I don't understand the logistics of how Beyonce like straddles her and flips herself over, but I don't need to understand. It was just very exciting and alluring and evocative.
Understand. Yeah. But when they're just like, this scene where Beyonce grabs her and drags her down that walkway, that's what really stuck with me from when I watched this movie a bazillion years ago. Like, that's the scene that I remember. It's just Beyonce grabbing her and dragging her down that hallway. It's so iconic. She's like trying to hold on to the banisters, and Beyonce's like, I don't fucking think so, girl. I'm in charge. This is my house. You came into my house. You touched my son. That's my husband, and I'm claiming him again. I'm literally going to kill you.
I just really liked when they made it to the attic, because I was like, finally, it'll all come full circle. I've been waiting for this one. And I can't get over her bouncing on the beams and the boots. That was just, it was so long. It was such a long, and they showed the boots 45 times. Back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And then like, no, she's gonna kill her. She was planning this to have her fall through the floor. She knew she would, but Beyonce's a good person. She doesn't want her to die. She gives her the hand. I'll save you, girl, you goddamn psychotic bitch. But then no, Lisa's like, if I can't have him, no one can. Well, except she's not killing Idris Elba. Whatever.
Beyonce was like, sense. Actually, I plan on raising my child in this house. Like, you cannot haunt me and my husband and my child. So maybe we don't die. Maybe you don't die.
That house was also fucking crazy.
From the outside, where in LA do we think that they live?
Thank you. That was bothering me so much because he looks like he's coming kind of like from where, like my area. If you wanted to like leave, if you wanted to go on the 5 to get to downtown, like I was like, oh, that's the way that I would go. But you would take surface streets from where I live. So I think he lives, I don't know where it looked. It looked like fucking Hancock Park.
The street kind of gave me like Beverly Hills-ish almost, though. You know what I mean? With like the palm trees and the really wide street.
And the houses are huge. But I was like, I don't know why he would be coming that way. Because he goes through Elysian Park every day on the freeway on the 5. Yeah, that like overpass thing. I don't know. I just like, I'm always there when I go to downtown. So I was like, he must be my neighbor. And I was like, the houses don't fucking look like that where I live. And like the houses that do look like that are on big hills. And that's not a hill area. It looked like Hancock Park to me. It really looked like
maybe
that. But that doesn't make sense. It's probably one of those things where they're like Los Angeles in scare quotes. This is how it works.
The scene where Ali Larter comes to the house and the babysitter's there, when you see the door open, she's very clearly standing in front of a green screen. And I don't know why that shot in particular. That was
so weird.
Maybe I noticed that too. But I don't know. I
They
wouldn't
couldn't
be
get the
shocked if
house.
they were just like mishmashing things together, which would, be very Hollywood. So
Yeah, totally. Well, anyway, I just thought that the final showdown was amazing, and I really loved that they set up everything in the beginning. They're like, "Oh, when they're moving in, look at this table. It's made of glass. Suspicious. Don't you think that?" I clocked the glass table. I was like, someone's going to get shattered through that glass table for sure during the fight scene. It's just so obvious. I loved it. I like when I don't have to be surprised and I can
Sure.
just be happy and I don't have to think so hard. That's very nice. We felt very relaxed.
when you just get to like watch and enjoy. And the
Yeah.
final fight scene is literally so fun to just watch
It was
and
so
enjoy.
fun.
There are a lot of foot shots, but on IMDb trivia, someone wrote something in there about like analyzing it. I don't know if this is from anything, but they talk about how like, oh, Beyonce's wearing the high-heeled boots, Ali Larter is barefoot. It says this was done deliberately to create a direct contrast between the two women, as Beyonce's character is well protected in boots but without balance, whereas barefoot give Ali Larter's character balance and traction but still make her vulnerable. And originally part of it was maybe going to be that Beyonce was going to like smash her toes with something. And that was going to be part of the fight. And Beyonce was going to like trip and fall, which would have been stupid. I'm so glad she did not trip and fall in a meaningful way, because
Yeah.
while we got a lot of wobbly heels, it just would have felt silly and not
Yeah.
fun, as opposed to
No.
like them beating each other down, which is very fun.
I loved it when they beat each other down. And I loved it when Ali Larter fell and smashed and then she was still alive.
And her
you're
eyes
like, she's gonna
immediately
come.
pop open.
Oh yeah, she's coming up. She's gonna come up there and fuck Beyonce up. Beyonce's like, oh fuck, this girl's crazy. She can't die. This is the moment when I was like, I wish it was R-rated, because I wish I could have seen her be impaled by the chandelier, but it didn't even look like she was impaled by the chandelier. It looked like
Maybe
the
she just
big
got crushed.
impaling bit was to the left a little bit.
Yeah.
Disappointing.
They made it look like she was going to be impaled, and then they just didn't follow through on that payoff. She just got,
I think,
a little smushed,
right-
I guess.
right there is when they could have made the R-rated cut. She gets smashed and impaled, and you see it, and there's blood everywhere. And then Beyonce
If you had just done
goes,
some like
"Fuck
splatter,
you
and then
fucking
Beyonce's
bitch,
face,
fuck."
yeah.
And that's the end. No, she has to say fuck more than once. She has to say fuck
She
a
gets
couple
to
of
say
times.
fuck,
Fuck you,
fuck,
bitch.
fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, mom.
They do
Big
say
mom,
the
fuck your
word
life.
bitch a lot. So that is at least one good thing about this
Yeah,
movie.
Beyonce says bitch.
When Idris Elba is doing CPR on her in the hotel and he's like, bitch, breathe. I was like, that's slay.
They use their curse words well. Okay, well, yeah. Then it's just over, and Beyonce's like, "What do you think happened?" To the
Right? What
detective.
happened
I
here? What do you
fucking-
think happened?
She's dead. She's dead. That's what happened. Thank God Kyle wasn't home. Jesus Christ.
The freeze frame ending is unlike anything else. And by that I mean it is so overdone and overplayed that it fits in just right here in this movie.
Mm-hmm. And then you
Little
hear the
freeze
Beyonce
frame.
song.
Yeah.
The sultry
The
sound of
romantic
Beyonce's own
reunion
voice.
music. It's over now. I'm like, I think you guys still have a lot of stuff to work through, but I'm glad that there isn't a third party involved in this moment, at least.
I'm glad that I don't have to see you guys working through it, because the writing would be terrible and it would be very hard to watch. But that brings us to our Segundos. You say it different every time too, which is exciting. Sometimes there's a U in it. But how could this movie be gayer? And let's just start out by saying it's so gay and it's so authentic.
Well,
it's so
such an
authentically
authentic
gay.
queer experience, everything with Patrick. Yeah.
As a queer woman, I really felt a kinship with Patrick that moved me to tears.
Here's the thing. Ali Lauder doesn't really want Derek. She wants Beyonce. And she just wants Derek because Beyonce has Derek. But she is
Mm.
actually in love with Beyonce.
Well, who
As
wouldn't
we
be?
all are at the end of the
Exactly.
day.
Like her
That
deep,
moment
deep,
when they're on
and
the
she's just
stairs and they're
confused.
straddling each other, I was like, "You're telling me that neither of them feels anything right now." I
You could just
know
kiss and
it's a
call off
high
the whole
charge moment.
charade.
Adrenaline is pumping. Let's just think about our feelings for a second. Let's just like take a stock of our body and like how our
Let's
bodies are feeling.
live in the moment, just really just take a deep breath. Yeah. I can't get over, like, really, the portrayal of that gay man was the most 2009 thing I've ever seen. It actually was a little more 2005 than 2009, but representation has come so
Matters.
far.
Yeah, they didn't have to include a gay person at all. So actually, this was incredible representation.
Yeah.
And he's not a villain, so it's a
He
slay.
he does
And there's
aid
a
and
lot
abet
of
a
really
psychopath, but
not meaningfully or knowingly. That's just his bestie, and can he really be blamed for taking a call from bestie while at work? Like he hasn't heard from her in 6 months. He's
yeah,
missed her.
he loves
He missed
her.
her. But
I will say though, the part where she says like "you old queen" or whatever, and her
Hilarious.
like her hair all fucking crazy and the like teary eyes or whatever, and then they're like having their sexy dance. I was like, I've been there. Sometimes you just need to you've had a trauma and you need to rub your body on your friend. I was like,
yeah,
they
I
have a
mean,
beautiful relationship.
I love Patrick and Lisa. I also think, as I mentioned earlier, Patrick and Ben, there's something there for them. There's something to explore there. That
Oh
kiss on the
yeah.
cheek, that didn't come from nowhere.
Uh-huh. I totally missed that part.
Something's
I gotta
bubbling
rewatch.
under the surface.
A great opportunity to watch Obsessed for the third time today.
We're doing a rewatch.
Let's go.
It's in the Christmas party scene early on. Gives him a little kissy on the cheek.
Any other gay thoughts you would like to share?
So many gay thoughts.
Okay, moving on. Where would Matthew Lillard fit into this masterpiece?
He would be Ali Larter's character.
Oh yeah.
Oh. Or
No,
he
only
could
be Ali Larter.
he could be Ben, the horrible coworker.
He could be Ben. He could be
He could
Patrick.
Ben.
Oh, he could have been Patrick.
You old queen to Matthew Lillard.
I wish
yeah.
I need,
He's doing his best stereotypical gay man 2009 era. Yeah.
I need to see him play queer more often, even though we do want authentic representation. But we're talking about 2009. We didn't expect that then. We didn't expect that then.
We barely expected any representation then.
But I would love to see him and Beyonce fight. So for me, I think he should be Ali Larter's character.
I would love to see him as blonde. Of course, he would have to
And
stay
imagine him
blonde.
flirting with
Okay,
Idris
but-
Elba.
No, here's the thing. What if he was
Oof.
Idris Elba's character
Oh my god, with his little
and he was
voice.
married
Trying
to
to say
Beyonce?
it like,
Slay.
could they pull that off?
That was
Yeah.
the original casting, actually, when it was an
Yeah.
interracial marriage.
Let's get Matthew Lillard in every role except for Beyonce's.
Yeah.
No,
And
no one
we'll
can
just
do
put
what-
different wigs on him.
Yes. It's
It
just
can be
starring
done.
Matthew Lillard and Beyonce because I would like to see him as the nice lady cop as well.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. He's also the detective for sure.
Yeah. No,
and
for sure.
Kyle.
Yeah.
And Kyle. Okay. A lot of options for him this movie. Actually, he's the star. It's gonna be a one-man show. And it's
And
all Matthew
Beyonce.
Lillard and Beyonce. One man and Beyonce show. Uh, But that brings us to the dumb bitch, and I would like to start off by nominating, unfortunately, and I don't mean that I don't want him to win, but Derek has to get a nomination because of the way he explained what happened to his wife. I'm so sorry. It was just like the most botched explanation I have ever seen in the history of anything ever in my life. He was like, I'm going to say 3 words and then never explain it ever again. But he did have a lot going on. So I give him his credence, which I've said already ad nauseum, but it was really bad.
I would-
I think it's fair to give him a nomination.
Yeah.
I would like to nominate Patrick for.
I'd
just
also like to nominate. I'd like to second
blabbing
that
his
nomination.
I would like to third it because Patrick, babe, shut the fuck up. Babe,
And,
like, respectfully, shut the fuck up.
Respectfully shut the fuck up. And also, as soon as she hangs up on you and you're like, wait, this isn't a normal bestie call, why would you not call Idris Elba and be like, remember how I'm not supposed to talk to Lisa? I think I just spilled some beans accidentally. Like, are you or are you not a good loyal assistant, Patrick?
Like,
Beans,
he's
I
really
fucking
bad
know.
at his job, actually.
But he's been there 10 years.
Well-
He's been an assistant for 10 years. You know what? He loves it and he's great at it. So it's
He
fine.
hasn't been Idris Elba's assistant for 10 years. Beyonce was his assistant just a few years ago.
He's just floating around. Maybe start
He's
at
just
the
floating around.
mailroom. I don't know how it works there.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's
Right?
Patrick.
I think it's Patrick.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it has to be Patrick.
Honorable mention Ben because he's just a fucker. He's just a little motherfucker.
But he's so plot irrelevant, which is why it's
I
so funny
know.
that Jerry O'Connell plays that character because, like, that is a known actor and he's just chilling in the background for the most part.
He wanted to work with Beyonce.
Fair enough.
Don't we all? Don't we all?
Fair
Who
enough.
could
Yeah.
blame the man?
Well, she had a
Okay,
scene
yeah.
with her, but
It's Patrick. They talk on the phone. So
that's true.
They do talk on the phone. Okay, so that brings us to our knives out of fives. It was critically acclaimed, was it not, Chelsea?
It was in many ways critically acclaimed. Because while it only has a 5 out of 10 on IMDb and it has 19% rotten from critics on Rotten Tomatoes, which is very bad, and 46% rotten from audiences on Rotten Tomatoes, which is also not great.
Aw.
It has won or been nominated for some very
Razzies?
prestigious awards. Yes, some Razzies, but other stuff too.
Okay.
It was nominated for 2 Razzies. Worst actress for Beyonce and worst supporting actress for Ali Larter.
Well, that's
What?
sick. This is Ali Larter's literal best role.
Okay, the Beyonce one, sorry, Kelsey. I can agree with, but Ali Larter. She's in her sexy
w-
renaissance. I believe
Yeah.
her.
Yeah. It did win a 2010 MTV Movie and TV Award for Best Fight between
it
Beyonce
should.
and Ali
Yes,
Larter.
fair. Yes.
That's a top 10 fight scene in all movies,
Did it-
quite frankly. It's so good.
Did it win Choice Hottie?
I don't
just
think it
always
was
thinking about
nominated for
Damn,
Choice
I'm always thinking about this. That's my favorite Teen
Mm.
Choice Award.
Well, it was also at the Teen Choice Awards because that was the 2010 MTV Movie and TV Awards. At the
Uh-huh.
2009 Teen Choice Awards, it was nominated for Choice Movie Drama. It was nominated for Choice Movie Actress Drama, Beyonce, and nominated for Choice Movie Rumble, Beyonce and Ali Larter. So again, that Rumble's getting acknowledgement. It
As it
also
should.
was nominated at the 2010 World Stunt Awards for Best High Work and Best Fight, and it won Best Overall Stunt by a Stunt Woman. So
Fuck yeah.
this fight scene is getting acclaim. It also, and I
It
think
was
this
the
one
best
is the
part.
most important. I had never heard of this before, but the Galeka Society of LGBTQ Entertainment Critics started awards in the year 2010. And one of their categories that year
Is
was the
gayest
Campy Film
caricature.
of the Year. And this movie won Campy Film of the Year
That's
from
'cause
the
this
gay
movie is
critics.
camp.
It is
So
camp.
it is critically acclaimed by the gay critics. They said it's the best campy movie of the year.
Wow.
And it was up against Drag Me to Hell. That was one of its competitors.
That's
It's
a
up
great
against
movie.
We
Whip
need
It,
to fucking do Drag Me to
Orphan.
Hell.
Yes, we do.
Drag Me to Hell, and Julie and Julia was the other one on there. And if it beat Julie and Julia
Okay.
from the Gays for the Campy Award.
Words?
That's saying something.
Wow. Big if true. That's crazy.
Big if
It won.
true.
It won Campy Film of the Year. The Gays
Okay, it is
proclaimed
true.
it so.
Wow. Oh my God.
So
Wow.
Well, now it's our time to speak our gay truth. Who wants to go first?
I guess I can go first. Like I said, I did remember that walkway drag fight scene. That is memorable. The chandelier work is great at the end. When I had seen the awards already. That was one of the first bits of research I did. And then when I got to that point in the movie, I was like, it is award winning. It is award worthy. I see why they were nominated. I see why they took home awards. Is it a good movie? No.
No.
But it doesn't have to be. That's not what I'm asking of it. I'm asking
Yeah,
to
I
have
didn't
a good
expect
fun
that.
time. I'm asking to laugh and be a little surprised at points.
I'm
and
looking
I'm
to see
loving
a
the
good
dialogue.
fight.
I'm looking to see sexy people say ridiculous words and then wrestle, and that's exactly what I got.
Do a
So,
little
like, am
tussle.
I gonna give it a really good score? No. I'm probably gonna give it, like, okay, we're at this tricky point because a 3 sounds like a good score to me, but a 2.9 sounds like a really bad score to me. So like I don't quite know how to find the wiggle room. It's a very small margin. But I guess I am gonna just go with 2.95 and really split the difference right in
yeah.
there. Because is it good? No, but it's what I'm asking it to be.
What was it good for me? Yes. it was
But did
good
I
for
have a
me.
good time? Yeah. And it was it was kind of longer than it needed to be, a little bit.
Yes. Why? Oh, could
Could
have
have
been
been
a tight 90.
90. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. That's why it loses points.
Yeah, of course. That's the only reason.
I'm gonna give this movie a 2.5, lovingly out of 5, because Ali Lauder, again, this is her best role ever. She looks so good throughout this entire movie. She is so unhinged. It's truly like a level of inspiration to like live up to,
Yeah.
And
She set the bar real high.
she set the bar
Seriously.
so high. The dialogue in this movie is just so bad. Some of the plot points, like the base, like the pacing doesn't make any sense. Like all of a sudden we have like a 6-month jump with the only reason we know it's been 6 months is Patrick.
Because Patrick goes, girl, it's been 6 months.
It's like
That's all you need. That was very clear and creative
what didn't you get that
filmmaking.
it's been 6 months? I hope to one day be able to fight a bitch like this in my house over a man.
I
don't
that
know
this will happen
why,
for you.
but
I
like
hope you're
I
never in
wanna
this
do that.
position. But
I hope you're
know
not the
that you would
blonde.
slay.
I hope you're not Ali Larter in the scenario.
No,
She's
I'm obviously Beyonce.
Okay, I'm just making sure you're blonde. I
She's
just want to remind you, and
obviously
you're hot,
Beyonce. Yeah.
and so's Beyonce. But I
Where
don't know.
Sydney would be like, that's my man, and I cannot believe that you would come into my house and lay down on my bed
man.
underneath my sex mirror. Get
Yeah.
the fuck out of
Love
here.
the sex mirror. Loved the sex
Could have
mirror.
been utilized a little more. Underutilized, I think, especially for how much of a point they made of it in the beginning, but
Someone should have died from the sex mirror shattering and stabbing them, but that's another movie that does exist. Okay, I'm going. Now it's my turn. I'm right there with you, Sydney. I'm gonna give it a 2 point. I'm gonna give it a 2.5. I was gonna give it a little bit more, but honestly, the way that everything it
about
like
it.
talks about, like, I know the movie is not a smart movie, but like the male sexual assault of it all was actually very unsettling. So
yeah.
it took the fun away a little bit for me. And then once we were moved past that part a little bit and had more Beyonce, I was
Once
feeling
we
a
were
little
prepared
safer.
to ignore it, just as the movie did.
Yeah. Yeah. That part it made it very clear that this was like a pre-Me Too movie. Not that we are in heaven now, but this would not be what would come out in 2024. That said, it is high camp. Patrick is everything to me. I think of him always, and that's a real guy. Guys act like that. Actually, that's how gay men are, just so you know.
All gay
you
men
heard
are
it
like
here
that,
first.
actually.
All gay men are like that. No. But it's amazing. An Oscar for Beyonce's wig. I loved hearing her say bitch. Ali Larter is everything. And Idris Elba, like, was the least exciting part of this movie. Can you imagine that? Idris Elba. That's how you know that the writing was bad. Oh my God. But anyway, I'm really glad we did this movie, even though it was fucking terrible. I'm so glad I watched it. 10 out of 10 in that regard, but 2.5 out of 5 when we're talking about knives.
I think that's fair.
So next week, the obsession continues. And we're doing a little bit of a different type of obsession this time around. We've had the fangirl. We've had whatever we just watched. And now we're doing a movie that I've been trying to watch again because I missed the first 20 minutes of it the first time I saw it, and I've brought it up on the pod like 15 times, and now I'll finally get to see the first 20 minutes, and that is 2022's Pearl. Why are we doing Pearl? Maybe because I'm obsessed with Mia Goth. Maybe because I don't know, it's a sleigh movie. Maybe because there's a goose in it. Maybe because it's about Pearl being obsessed with her fame and her talent and herself.
Her dream.
Her
Pearl
dream.
is obsessed with her. Like, we're obsessed with her.
Yeah, like everybody should be. She is a fucking star, okay? And that's what it's about, okay? And also it's mostly this will have come out after the Super Bowl, but this is coming from a place that is before the Super Bowl, and I'm really hoping that the Maxine trailer drops during the Super Bowl. So if that's not the case, then fuck me. But I'm also hoping that. So this is me putting that into the universe. But yeah, I mean, we loved X so much, so it's fun to go back to the beginning and see what Ty West dreamed up for the origin story. So yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't seen Pearl yet. But I did love X when we did it. So I'm curious to finally see what Pearl is all about. Because I feel like I saw a bajillion memes, but I guess I don't really know for sure what actually goes on in there. I just know some quotables.
I'm really excited to watch it again. I watched it alone, and now I maybe will watch it with you. I don't know. Or I'll
Who
watch it
can
alone again. Okay, cool. So now we have to do our poll question. We can think of something fucked up for this one. Come on.
Are you Beyonce or are you Ali Larter in?
How Delulu are you? Is Patrick an accurate representation of the gay community in 2009? Yes or no?
Yes or no?
That's the open question. And
That's
explain.
the open question.
Yeah.
And explain. Okay, cool. That's the open question. The poll question is
Poll question has to be about Sally giving lap dance. Would you give a lap dance at your company or Christmas party? The answer is
What's
obvious
your
yes.
favorite shoe in this movie? Is it the wobbly boots? Is it Ali Larter's Louboutins that she wears on multiple occasions? She's stacked, by the way. We didn't get into that at all, but she's got her Burberry coat. She's got her Louboutins. Like, she's got money from somewhere.
I have a good question. Is it a violation of your wife's trust to accept a lap dance from Amy or
A
whatever the
coworker.
fuck?
Sally.
From Sally.
You're
yes
married.
or no?
Are you getting lap dances at the Christmas party?
There you go.
There you go.
He
That's
refuses
it.
to go to the
Perfect.
strip club, but Christmas party. What happens at the Christmas party stays at the Christmas party, baby.
Well, babes, it's Valentine's Day, as you know. And so
It's
you know
actually Fat Tuesday.
Okay, yeah, it's Fat Tuesday, but tomorrow's Valentine's Day. It's the Valentine's Day season. And I know you've been wanting to write us a little love note. I can see it written all over your faces. And you know where a good place to submit those is? On a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts. Or if you're a little shy, we'll accept just the 5-star rating on Spotify if you don't want to, say it all out to the world like that. Why not also follow us on social media? We're at spooky_Tuesday on TikTok, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube. YouTube, we're doing YouTube videos every week, video episodes. We also have, I'm very excited. We did the videos for Hereditary and Fright Night. I know you've been so upset about it, like how I was upset, and how those are the only 2 from season 4 that we didn't have videos for. Well, it's fine. It's getting fixed. So go to YouTube, see it, watch me eat a salad during the Fright Night episode, and I look like a cow, like chomping on
cud,
curd or
baby.
something like that. On cud, that's what it is. Yeah, it's really, you're gonna like it. I think you're gonna like it.
It's Monica's mukbang.
Oh gosh, yeah, it kind of is. And also, we're on Facebook and Tumblr at Spooky Tuesday Pod. And I have to say, thank you for listening, and I'll see you next Tuesday.
Bye, spookies.
You just tell me what you want me to do, and that's what I'll do. Huh?
First, I suggest you pack your toothbrush. And then I want you to get your socks, your shaving kit, your underwear, your prophylactics if you think you need them, and get your ass
And
out
go
of
where, Sharon?
to hell! But until then, I suggest maybe the Four Seasons.
Spooky Tuesday was created by Monica Height, Sydney Thompson, and Chelsea Duff, and edited by Sydney Thompson. Our gorgeously spooky tunes are all thanks to Tamara Simons, who you can follow on Instagram at Captain Tamara, and our podcast art is by Mary Murphy, who you can find on Instagram at the_moon_OMG.